Hello everyone, welcome to today's tutorial. I'm Susan and today I'd like to share with you how to crochet this really unusual textured stitch. I think it's great for blankets, scarves, cowls, wraps, lots of other things. And this is the right side, but I think you'll probably agree with me. It looks pretty good on both sides. So it's worked in multiples of 2 plus 1. I've made a very small sample today just to give you an idea, and I've started off with 9 chains. So if you would like to join me, just crochet 9 chains and we'll get started. So today I'm using a 6.5mm hook with a 5-weight yarn. This is a merino yarn. You can use any hook size or yarn you prefer. So to begin, ignore the loop on your hook, skip that very first chain and into the next chain along, work a single crochet and then single crochet in each chain to the end, and you should end up with 8 single crochets to begin our small sample. So there we are, we have our 8 single crochets. Next, chain 1 and turn. In the very first stitch, work a single crochet. Next, chain 1. Now this is where we're going to start with our puff stitch, working around the leg of this first single crochet. So you can see here, this is your single crochet stitch and the 2 little legs sit underneath it for your single crochet. We're going to be working around the left leg. So we've done the single crochet and we've also done a chain 1. Next, just extend the loop on your hook slightly, yarn over, insert your hook under that left leg, yarn over and pull through a loop. We need to do this a total of 4 times and you should end up with 9 loops on your hook. There we go. So let's just count now. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Next, we're going to skip a stitch and into the next stitch, insert our hook, grab the yarn. I find it easier to just put the yarn under the hook, pull it through like so, then pinch the loops on your hook as best you can and pull your hook upwards while you're pinching and pulling down, and then you should find your loop will go through or your hook will go through the loops easier. Next, yarn over and pull through. Now we're going to do one more chain, and I like to just pull that little chain a little tighter, and there you've finished your first little puff around the single crochet. Next, extend the loop on your hook slightly, yarn over, and now we're going to work in the loop behind the puff stitch we've just made, and we're going to do yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop 4 times. So once again we'll end up with a total of 9 loops on our hook. Once you've got your 9 loops on your hook, skip a stitch, into the next stitch, insert your hook, grab the yarn, pull it through, and once again pinch those loops on your hook, pull them down as best you can and push your hook upwards, and then grab that yarn and pull it through all those loops. Then yarn over to close, and then chain 1, and then pull that so it's quite tight, and there you've completed your second puff stitch. Next, extend the loop on your hook slightly and yarn over, find that back loop of the puff stitch, and once again work 4, yarn over and pull through. And once again you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 stitches on your hook. Skip a stitch into the next stitch along, insert your hook, grab the yarn, pull it through, pinch those loops under your hook, push or pull your hook upwards, and grab that yarn, and it should come through a little easier. There we go. And that's your third puff stitch made. Yarn over and pull through. And once again, just work 1 chain, tighten it a little, like so. And now we're just going to work a double crochet into this last stitch. And this will be our edging stitch. And that's your very first row of the puff stitches made. Next, we're going to chain 2. This will count as a double crochet. Turn your work, and all we're going to do now is work 3 double crochets into the top of each of these puff stitches. So the puff stitches are really on this side, and they do really resemble the bullion stitch. And I think the bullion stitch is just a variation of a puff stitch anyway. So now we do a double crochet 3 times into that same stitch. And yes, you will be increasing stitches, but then you'll decrease on your next row. So don't worry about that. So it's a 2-row repeat, and one of them's a really easy row, which is this one, consisting of just double crochets. Two and 3. Well, not quite 3. There we go. And then a double crochet in the very last stitch. You see this little bar here? You'll know that your stitch is just above it there. You can just rotate and go under both loops. There we are. So if we have a look, you can see now it will look like this, but that's fine because on our next row that will correct itself. And we're going to repeat row 2. So chain 1, turn, single crochet in the first stitch, and chain 1. Extend slightly, yarn over, and work a puff stitch around that left leg of the first single crochet. And we do this 4 times until we have 9 loops on our hook. Next, we're just going to skip 1, and it will bring us to the middle of these 3 double crochets. Insert your hook, grab the yarn, pull it through, and repeat and pull through all of the loops on your hook. Yarn over to close. Then chain 1, tighten it, extend, and now work around the back loop behind the puff stitch with 4 yarn over insert, yarn over pull through. You can do more if you wish, and this time we're going to skip 2, 1, 2, and that will bring us to the middle double crochet, and we just complete this puff stitch as before. Chain 1, tighten, pull up a loop, and once again yarn over insert, yarn over pull through 4 times. And then skip 1, 2 into the third one, grab your yarn, pull through and repeat. And this time we're just going to do a double crochet into the second of those chains. Try to go under 2 loops. And there we go. That's your next row completed. So we just go ahead once again, chain 2, turn and work 3 double crochets into the top of each puff stitch. Two, 3, and the final puff stitch, and finish with a double crochet in that final stitch. So I'm going to go ahead and repeat another row of puff stitches, and I'll meet you once I've done that. But just to start off, remember, you chain 1, turn, single crochet in that very first stitch, chain 1, extend, and then work your puff stitch around the left leg, just to start you off for this row. Okay, continue along with your puff stitches and I'll meet you at the end. Okay, so to finish off, I like to finish off with a row of single crochets to match the base row. So simply chain 1 and turn. You don't have to chain 1 if you don't wish to. And then single crochet into that very first stitch, and then if you just pop 2 single crochets into the top of each of the puff stitches, you'll end up with the correct stitch count of 8. See the tops of the stitches. And then in the very final stitch, work a single crochet when I find it. I always try to go under 2 if I can. There we go. And I'll just finish off like so, just to show you that now you've got your 2, 4, 6, 8 stitches to match, and there we have the little textured stitches. Now if you look here, there is a knack where you can eliminate this little bar protruding like this on the other side. And I'll show you quickly how to do that. So I'll just go ahead and work the puff stitches to the end and show you how to finish off. Well, it was easier to just pull back the final row. So pop my hook in there. Before we do our final double crochet, just yarn over, and if you grab the loop at the back of your puff stitch and then insert your hook to start working your double crochet, bring it through, but also bring it through that first loop there, and then just complete your double crochet as normal, you'll find that that eliminates this little bar here. So I think that's just a little tip if you wanted to get rid of that. That's how you do it. Okay, so that's all for today. I hope you've enjoyed watching the tutorial, and thank you all for staying with me, and because I know I was absent for quite some time. Yeah, so once again, I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Take care and bye for now.